And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It's Monday, August 4th, 2025. We're going to call this the No Memory edition of the Investor's Edge. We'll explain in a minute. Hope you had a good weekend. I went to SummerSlam Saturday night. I predicted the outcome. SummerSlam Sunday, yet last night I predicted it. I'm really good at this. I should have my own wrestling podcast. You guys do professional wrestling, right? So I predicted Seth Rollins cashing in on Saturday. I predicted CM Punk winning and getting cashed in. I predicted Brock Lesnar showing up last night, and boom. I'm good at this. And as you know, I've been going to professional wrestling matches since 1975. Miami Beach Convention Center every Wednesday, seeing Dusty Rhodes beat the bad guy. I used to get made fun of all the time. Nobody makes fun of me anymore. I will tell you, 50,000 people at Giant Stadium. Well, it's Giant. It's MetLife, they call it, on Saturday night. And last night, I believe over 60,000 people. And man, oh man, the merchandise was flying off the shelves. More power to them. Well done, WWE. And there's other organizations doing very well also. It is a big, gargantuan, gigantic business. Anyway, I saw my father, and I got to I've given that whole story that he was almost a goner, about 2 months ago. He's going to be 94 in October. Brain is fine, but body not, and energy being sapped. Lost a lot of weight, and it's so tough to watch because, I have this very good memory of down and out, pump it, go long. He would be the quarterback in the streets of North Miami Beach when I was 13 years old. My father almost made it to professional baseball, had tryouts with the Yankees, fast as fast can be, was in the Coast Guard also, and just age. I'm seeing in real time that you cannot fight age. There's nothing you can do about it. And the way Hulk Hogan just passed away at 71, but Clint Eastwood's 95. You just never know. I look up all the time just to feel better. What is the lifespan of a man? And my father's kicked its ass by many years at this point in time. So grateful. And my mom, who passed away last Thanksgiving at 91. Anyway, that's, pretty much I'm going to be flying up there every weekend now. And that's that part of the show. In case you don't know, this is serious talk on everything that affects you. We'll do the markets, and dang, what a difference a day makes. We'll do the markets, the economy, your job, your industry, the president. Oy vey. And just a lot of things that are going on out there that I want you to know about that you may not think matters to markets. Every now and then we'll get the email, oh, Gary, talk markets more. Everything intertwines. When I talk debt and deficits, you don't think that has anything to do with the markets long-term in your life long-term? You don't think them spending $37 trillion more than they were supposed to is meaningful? You don't? Seriously? You don't think that Social Security is going to run out of money is not meaningful? You think they have the money? You think they prepared for the future? They're idiots. And anytime somebody even wants to talk about Social Security, the other party just, you're throwing grandma off the cliff. Just remember, Social Security, they scammed you. They took your money and used it. If you're getting your Social Security right now, you're not getting your money back. You're getting the workers of today's money. You're getting their money. And they need to know, number one, that life expectancy has gone higher, so people are getting paid for longer a period of time, and they didn't prepare for that. That's why we keep getting taxed more on it, the dummies. And I can go. I can do 5-hour show on Social Security and the scam of it. Greatest Ponzi scheme in history. You know what a Ponzi scheme is? You get paid by other people's money. It's as simple as that. And as I have said to you on Social Security, if all that money that you put in Social Security through the years just went into an account, not run by the frickin' government, but just an account at your bank, at your brokerage, and 90% of it, well, I'll take it back, 100% of it just went into 10-year government bonds. A, it's be in your name. B, we wouldn't have to spend trillions of dollars having a Social Security Administration. C, you would be in control and you'd have a lot more money. And imagine if you were able to put 90% in 10-year bonds and 10% in the S&P 500. Holy crap. Imagine 75-25. You'd be a bazillionaire by now. But no. And they keep telling us how great they are and what they did and what a great setup. It sucks. Oh, I'm getting a $3,500 check every month. You'd have been getting 7 and 8 and 10. And you wouldn't be getting it from the government. You'd be handling it. You'd have control. So just letting you know. And we'll cover everything. And if you don't get this show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on our X feed. Also on Biz TV YouTube channel. And if you'd like to email me, all you got to do is be nice. Getting a little gruff from the Trump fans. And that's fine. That means I'm doing my job. And we're going to hit him today hard. Just remember, this is the show of no bias. We will compliment the hell out of him. When he does well, we will rip him when he doesn't. Just like we did with Biden for 4 years. I think in 4 years we may have complimented Biden twice. But he was a Marxist control freak, a quiet Marxist control freak that was determined to destroy this country with open borders, let everybody in, flew the people in, to different cities around the country and bankrupt a bunch of cities. Just remember, the taxpayer pays for all that, not Joe Biden. I think maybe once or twice. We've been complimenting Trump big time on many things, but there are a few things that I can't get over. And we'll keep talking about it. And you can curse me out and send me emails. That's okay. That's what makes the world go round. Disagreement. We'll get to that in a bit. But the market. So on Friday, I didn't listen back Friday. I've been busy all week, and normally I listen back. But I'm pretty sure I said to you, we gapped down below the very important 21-day moving average, finished below it the first time since the lows. And this could be very important. A lot of areas in really bad shape, very big trouble. Coming after the transports in a big way, avoids here, avoids there. I think I said the only thing that looked pretty good on Friday is interest rates came down markedly. So some of the interest rate sensitive areas were pretty crappy. And just went on telling you how this broke and that broke and this broke and that broke, and let's hope there's no follow through. The good news is we're still above the 50-day moving average, which is the big matzo ball in an uptrend. That the 21-day is a stronger moving average, and it finally broke. And I don't think we gave you any reasons on Friday, though I may have mentioned that there's worry about tariffs and the economy and all that, whatever. I think at 9:35 today, the Dow was up 350. The NASDAQ was up, I think, 250. And I use 9:35 because when a market gaps up, I don't for the market I don't usually use that exact second that it opens. I give it 5-10 minutes either up or down. Let's just say we're up 350 and 250. Boom, right out of the box, and we did not look back. The Dow finished up 585, getting back Friday. Am I surprised? Hell yeah. Is there a reason? I don't know. Don't care. I care about outcome. Dow 585, S&P 91, NASDAQ 403. I think it was down 472 on Friday. Up next, we'll keep going. Markets. Oh, and then lots to cover after that. I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. So, I forgot to mention, I have a question. So on Thursday, I'm flying up to New York Thursday evening. By the way, we were 6-hour delay. And the whole plane is full except my row. I have the aisle seat, and a gentleman has the window seat, nobody in the middle. And the gentleman happens to be, I'm not mentioning who, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, who is still playing and is still he's up in age now, but pretty much near the top of his game, if not more. And he did not want to be noticed. How do we know? He was wearing a total black outfit and a black hoodie that just covered him. And we were all pretty pissed off because we had a 4 o'clock flight. I changed my 7:30 to 4 because we had storms. And we were in the plane at 4:30 about to leave. And we couldn't believe it because all the flights to Kennedy were canceled. Usually it's the other way around. 2 flights from LaGuardia are going. And then we're on the runway sitting for a half hour, which happens every now and then. And then, but the pilot also told us we have to fly west and come back east, so it's going to be a 3.5-hour flight instead of normally a 2-hour. Fine and dandy, we don't care. We're on a nice flight with TV and stuff. And we end up sitting there. Then we have to go back and get fuel because we were going to do the 3.5-hour flight, and then big storms came, and then they had a stoppage up there. We left at 10:45, I think it was. Anyway, this basketball player, I think, was pissed off as all of us, and then he just kind of went dead asleep type of thing. Would it have been wrong to me to just bug him just to say something because of who he was? I didn't. I decided not to. And I think I did the right thing anyway. And just so you know, one of the greatest of all time who still plays, no, it wasn't LeBron. LeBron flies private. And I was surprised this guy flew regular flight. Anyway, we move on. So very strong day. In case you don't know, in numbers, this is the biggest week for earnings. In numbers. Not the most important stocks, but in numbers. But I do want to mention that Palantir, PLTR, it closed at 160. It's up about $6.50 in the aftermarket. That's a good one. Regardless of valuation, I've got Mercado Libre though, 2,400 down to 2,255. Oh well. Anything else I know reports? I think there are others, but I think that is all I need to cover. My issue with Palantir remains, you can obviously, but they have a $400 billion market cap. $400 billion with 1.8, 2.6, now trailing 3.3 billion in revenues. I don't care if they're selling Coke with the big margins. Eventually, that's got to give. And I know they're in this right industry. They're 120 times sales forever. But stock's up again in the aftermarket. I can't argue the point. I'll never argue price. Anyway, but let me just state for the record, very good day. Good close. It was the type of day I'm thinking, they're going to open hot and screw everybody. They did not. What it allows me to do is see strength versus not, but it's a kind of tough call because you get the distribution last week, a good rally today. We'll see what tomorrow brings. We're told that August and September are choppy or usually down. I never buy too much into seasonality. I believe in what's in front of me. We'll see. But am I surprised today? Heck yes. Yeah, I thought we can bounce, but not do what we did. Just a very strong day. I don't see any big news that caused it, which is even better news. You know, if it was announced that Trump was getting rid of this tariff and that tariff, I'd say, okay, that's the reason why. I don't see even any of that today. In fact, they were kind of tough today on a couple of the tariffs. So very good day. The big indices got back by a smidge above that 21-day moving average. And let me explain again. All that is a moving average. That means the market's really strong. The normality is the 50-day. You ascend along a rising 50-day, and all that 50-day moving average is just a line on a chart. Take the 50 days, add up every close, divide by 50, and it's smoothed out versus the wild swings you get every now and then. And in bullish markets, in bullish phases, price stays above the 50-day, but in stronger markets, it stays above the 21-day. And why is the 21-day stronger? But because it's only inclusive of 21, the nearer term, versus the 50. And that's the story. So I wish I can complain, and I can tell you we sold down some indices. We still have. I think the ETFs that we sold are about 0.8% now higher than when we sold them. Mind you, we bought them right on the turn in late April. So we done good. Now I got to decide, do I want to redo that? But I'm not sure I'm going to think about it at the close. But the fact that a Palantir's up, which is an important name, I think it's of import. And you know what was up today? Let me just give you some thoughts here. Oracle up 8, Nvidia up 6, Robinhood up 6, Credo up 6, Broadcom up 9. These are the names that were leading, and they just come right, and they got hit, and they just come right back today like nothing happened. Though volume was much lighter today than on the drop, I'm going to give the move today its due. And let me just be clear. If we keep coming on the show and say to you the 21 days still holding, that's big. If it gets taken out, then we'll be talking about another few percent to the downside. I am in no way, shape, or form thinking bear market, except we'd still avoid a lot of the transport types. Things like auto dealers. They bounce the insurance stocks, but they're kind of in icky downtrends, though insurance stocks in their bear markets never really crash that much unless you're a United Health, which is insurance-y. And semis were up 96 today, the stocks. Better day for the financials, which were rocked on Friday. The financials were rocked on Friday and gave a certain finger back to the market today. So good day. Up next, what else we seeing? And then this, that, and the other thing. This is the one only Investor's Edge. Well, we have set the date. Wednesday, September 3rd, the day before the first game of the football season. The Couch Potato Football League will be having its draft. The name of my team this year, what's my grandson's name? Reese. So Reese's Pieces is the name of my team. Normally, my team starts with a certain bad four-letter word and somebody who screwed me the year before in Fantasy League. That's usually the name of my team. But this year it'll be Reese's Pieces. The draft order will be picked on Tuesday, August 12th. And we'll see how it goes. I've already got my little book out and all my things to start studying. And I haven't won the league in a very long time, which irritates the living heck out of me. And I still remember the year that I had it won. Final game. And this is true. Green Bay, Minnesota. And Green Bay, Minnesota. And all that did not have to happen. I was playing against Aaron Rodgers. As long as he didn't throw 5 touchdown passes, I win. 5 touchdown passes. He threw 6. No, it's a true story. And I did not win the championship. That's my luck sometimes. All right, what else do I got for you? Gold miners. The GDX. Just reporting to you. I'm not telling you to buy, sell, short, or cover. Broke a little bit above range today on what I would call a pretty good quality pullback from 10 p.m. down to 4 a.m. on a clock, or 10 to 4, whatever you want to call it, and a real strong move up today on volume. And GDX is influenced by MON, and that's pretty strong, but you got little moves in, let's see, AU, Anglo Gold, breaks out to new highs. Barrick Mining, B, edges above the old highs. Agnico Eagle edges above highs. But the gold miners remain in, I think, the 15th or 16th week now range. But the gold miners, and typically when the miners lead the metal, it's bullish. And then you had some more earnings moves. You ready for this one? IDEX Laboratories. What have we been telling you? Avoid medical? Yeah, it's medical. It was up $147 to $682 on 17% earnings growth. The market loved it for whatever reason. As you know, most medical stocks look like crap, but this one, dang. Boom. So as earnings keep coming out, we mine them, we check it out. We also look at news. Something like a Spotify announces they're raising prices. Up 31, was up 45 though, but that's in, like, I would call that a little bit of a bearish phase for Spotify at this point. And we're just looking for any new merchandise based on moves on earnings. So Palantir will be up a little bit in the aftermarket and at a new yearly high, by the way, with a $400 billion market cap with $3 billion in sales. This would not be a Warren Buffett stock. May I state for the record. And by the way, Berkshire reported earnings after I guess over the weekend was down $14 today. So that wasn't that good. Yields back down a little bit more today. The 10-year yield down at 4.2, I think exactly at this point. And oil prices dropped $1 and change. That's good to see. And remember what we tell you fundamentally. Fundamentally, oil prices and yields going down are a great thing. Fabulous thing. Anything else stick out? It's just a good day. I did my big scan and then I tightened it up. But good day. Advanced declines were the opposite of Friday. New yearly high. Well, remember on Friday, new yearly highs on the NASDAQ were 40. New yearly lows 200 at the close today. 73 new yearly lows still, but 100 new yearly highs. I'll look them over. We're always mining that list. And I started writing up the list earlier. There you go. I just found it again. And we'll see if we can get follow through. But I'm more than impressed today on how we opened, how we finished, and just market without a memory of what happened last week. And let me be clear, it was getting ugly last week. Ugly, ugly, ugly. AI stocks, semiconductors, that energy data center thing, Chevron and Amazon were down. By the way, Amazon's following through to the downside off of its gap to the downside. But everything else in the Dow was up today, though. Let me be clear. There's still plenty of Dow stocks weak. I also want to mention that the housing related got another lift today. They did it Friday today. And even Home Depot and Lowe's and things like that had a good day. So, as we said, tomorrow's another day. I do want to warn you, though. They've been coming out with IPOs, and they open them too hot. FIG. Figma. I think it was a $30 deal. They opened it at 100 and something. Hit a high of one. You ready for this? I'm not making this up. On Friday, hit a high of 143, closed it at 122. It's 88. So if you got all excited and bought at 143, it's 88 the next day. So just be careful. Keep your feet on the ground. We're seeing it in other names also. You remember the, what was it? Circle Internet hit 300. It's 164. And what's that? Core Weave hit a high of 187. It's 106. So they can heat them up. Emotion. And then the look-see, froth comes off, big losses if you're not careful. These are just examples. You never know what the next one's going to do. Just do yourself a favor. Oh, it was a $30 deal. It's 110. Should I buy it? You get to decide. I had to bring that up also. Next. So, if I did it Friday, sorry, I'm doing it again. Donald Trump came out that they rigged the jobs number on Friday. So let me be clear, because I'm rooting for him. But he loses all credibility in my mind, my unbiased mind, because he's lying. And I would tell him that. Stop lying. Now, if you want to say it's flawed, good. But you are accusing that woman of cheating you and making up the job numbers and cheating you. And you know what the problem is? She's probably getting death threats now. That's what happens in this crazy world right now. So he isolated this woman who's been doing it for a long time, and she doesn't make up the numbers. They have their formulas, and that is that. He also lied when he said that last year under Biden or whatever, they did a revision of 800,000, but they waited to after the election. That was a lie. They revised it 2.5 months before the election, making Biden look bad. I also want to mention that he's had some good numbers in the last few months, and he didn't complain about it. He actually gave himself big pats on the back. It's the greatest economy in the world. But now he gets a bad number. He's being cheated. That's bullcrap. And in my unbiased mind, loses credibility, and I just say it to his face. Stop. He doesn't have to do that. Just make a great economy. Low taxes, less regulations. Hopefully we get to the finish line on the tariffs and get the hell out of the way. We'll do great. I've told you, I'm pretty good with my little stupid sampling, that there's been a slowdown. And you know why there's been a slowdown? The tariffs. Do you know less people, and the immigration. Do you know a lot of people are not coming here because they're afraid of the immigration thing? Seriously. When you see video, and we're not saying this is wrong, but when you see videos of people being taken away, people are worried coming over here as visitors. Wrongfully worried, but that's part of it also, and we're hearing it. By the way, go look at the numbers from people coming in from Europe. Not Eastern Europe, but Western Europe. Go look at the numbers from Canada. So there's some things going on I believe the president should be thinking about. I can help him. He wouldn't listen to me. Up next. Well, now that I hit him, what about the other side? This is the one only Investor's Edge. And if you don't think credibility from up high doesn't matter, I got some Everglades from you. And Trumpians, don't be emailing me. You know I'm right. I'm here to help. You know who doesn't help? The people who kisses you-know-what, even when he does silly. And don't get me well, you know what? I can't blame his minions going on TV and BSing for him. I can't blame them. They got a job to do, right? On the other end, a couple of things. Just a couple of things. So, have you heard about the the big complaint in Texas that the Republicans want to redistrict and all that crap, and look how bad they are, and they want to redistrict this and they want to redistrict that so they don't lose Texas, and look how bad the Republicans are. They're terrible, they're terrible, they're terrible, they're terrible, they're terrible. Right. Just want to make sure you know the story. They, in California, the Democrats, are redistricting, which would eliminate all 9 Republican House seats in California. Do you know that? So those Democrats are full of crap. They're BS artists. Do you know here in Florida, they once drew up a map for a district that looked like, how do I describe, a boomerang. No, really. A boomerang. A J. The Democrats are so damn crooked on elections, it's not even funny with the redistricting. They wrote the book on it. So I just want to let you know, if you start reading that story and stuff, they're lying. Oh, look at that. We're hitting both sides. They're lying. They are the kings and queens of redistricting. They've been doing it forever. So what do they say? What's the line? Turnabout is fair play. The Republicans are giving them a little bit of their own medicine. And I don't know what the outcome's going to be, but I know that was a little front and center. Next. So the scumbags at the New York Times put out a picture of a starving kid in Gaza without saying, oh, look, the kid has big illness since a baby, and the reason he looks like that is because of his illness. And they put it out, and 8 million people on their X feed or whatever feed see it, and then they apologize, but with a non-apology, and then they send that out to 80,000 people on a different feed. But of course, they run all these stories about starvation in Gaza. Do you know how many millions of pounds of food Israel has sent in there? A bazillion, which they don't have to do, because in war, you're not supposed to give away. So I'm just letting you know, you can believe whatever you want. I'm letting you know because I have a radio show. It's all a lie. And there's still 50 hostages. And the New York Times, by the way, and all of them, by the way, the scumbags, the murderers, the pricks at Hamas, who I hope they all die a big death and a painful death. They released a video of one of the hostages that looks like he's 80 pounds, showing him digging his own grave, and publish it. And the New York Times and the Post and all of them, not one of them, CNN, MSNBC, that's not news, right? They hate Israel because they hate democracies. They're jealous of their great wealth and success and the people there. They can all go screw themselves. I had to bring that up. Does that matter to the markets? I'm going to say not really. But it matters to your handsome and buffed host, who's getting more buff by the day. Sydney Sweeney, have you seen that one? And you want to know why the left why Donald Trump's the president? And why the Republicans have the House and Senate? Anybody see those ads of this Sydney Sweeney? And I don't know who she is. I guess she's a very popular actress right now. She's been in some shows. I think I saw her maybe in something. I don't remember what it was, but I don't know well. So she does an ad for jeans. And I watched a professor on TV said it has imagery of Nazism. And I decided to watch the ads, and I didn't see any jackboots, and I didn't see anybody Heil Hitlering with the arm out. I didn't see any swastikas. I saw a good-looking girl wearing jeans and talking about them. The left, the woke left, is insane. They can make up the remake of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I don't think there's enough straitjackets. I don't think there's enough rubber rooms for these people. Do they actually sit in a room and just come up with these things? An innocent Gene commercial. Then somebody else said it's white supremacy. What? And then I look and I see, wait a minute, Beyonce, I don't think she's white, did a Gene commercial also that looks so much like this commercial with this Sydney Sweeney. But this one was white supremacy. And they want to know why they can't get elected. They want to know why people are sick of them. You know, I call myself Mr. Logic. I'm just a logical person. You run an ad with a good-looking young lady showing jeans. A sexy ad, I would call it. Boy, because they never sell sex on TV through advertisements, right? But I think a lot of us, most of us, are pretty logical, and we're laughing at this. It's stunning to watch. And normally we go into midterm elections and I say to you, boy, the Republicans are going to get kicked in the teeth. And especially with Trump being very polarizing. Not so sure about that. Why? The left is insane. They're insane. That's the best way I can put it. Some of you in the Democratic Party better get a hold of it and get back to being moderate and logical, or you're dead. You're dead. Hey, that all said, you have a great evening. Drive carefully. And again, I was quite surprised by today. When you get home, do like we do, quite simple. Make sure you hug your family. Make sure you hug your children. They will feel better. You'll feel better, I promise. I'll be on with Varney and company tomorrow. I'm not so sure what hour it is. It's 9 to 12 Fox Business. Check it out. And you have a good evening, everybody. Always a pleasure to be here. Bye-bye.